Civic TV, the one you take to bed with you.
Good evening. I'm education correspondent Eli Pierce for FNC. Tonight, we have a number of guests joining us to discuss fake news. First, we go to Camden, New Jersey, where students at Rutgers University participated in a 2017 course on fake news. The course, officially called Multimedia Thinking, is a media literacy and production course. Confronted with the news landscape of the 2016 election, Professor Robert Emmons felt an urgency to teach a course that focused on the information ecosystem and the problem of fake news. In class, Emmons has stated that media literacy is consuming media responsibly. The class, he says, is an experiential learning course on writing with digital media and focuses on using media production tools to explore issues in the media. In an interview from earlier today, Professor Emmons had this to say.
I've been teaching media literacy for a number of years. With the fake news phenomenon, it gave me an opportunity to have my students practice methods of media responsibility in a real-world context. It was a live test.
The course began with a series of readings and exploratory writing. Students then studied pieces of fake news and read reporting on those stories. They developed a foundational language of fake news.
Please.
Individually, they crafted a research question, which then was reinterpreted with each new media production tool they used. Students created various projects, including interactive articles, online games, and viral videos using Adobe Photoshop, Audition, Premiere Pro, Twine, and Scalar. In the future, students will create comic books, photo montage, and podcasts. Each new project iteration explored the methods or effects of fake news, thereby giving students a richer understanding of how fake news works on audiences. The course wasn't without controversy.
What the hell should I know about the truth?
Emmons began the class with a bit of fake news of his own.
So on the first day of class, I presented a website with a headlining story that reported students at Rutgers would be receiving a rebate for tuition overpayment. No one questioned it.
There is nothing real outside our perception of reality.
FNC correspondent Lisa May was able to speak with a member of the course, digital studies student Jesse Williams.
He lied to us. I mean, why wouldn't we believe him? He's the professor, of course. He's supposed to be telling the truth. It was totally shitty.
That's what it is to live in a mind control country.
For more on fake news, we have Max Reed from New York Magazine joining us to discuss how social media has proliferated and escalated fake news. Max, is fake news fooling us? And what is social media's role in this?
What I can tell you is that I know that there are studies, a recent Stanford study that was released last week demonstrated that even, theoretically sophisticated young people, digital natives, have trouble distinguishing fake news from real news, have trouble distinguishing advertising from, like genuine journalism. And you can also just look at the raw numbers. The number of people who've seen some of these pieces and these headlines, we're talking in the millions. And that, it's hard for me to believe that there's no influence. And in fact, Facebook itself, its business model relies on the idea that the news feed, that when you click through to Facebook's homepage and you scroll through your feed, that feed influences you.
How can audiences become responsible media consumers?
If you perform basic media hygiene, if you don't trust single sources, if you try to read a wide variety of sources, if you are immersing yourself in a number of different ideas, I think that you are probably safe from the scourge of fake news. But I worry that what Facebook has essentially done is it's created a one serving spot for news. Something like 40% of adults get news from Facebook. Something like 170 million people in North America use it. That's more than voted every day. That's more than voted in the election. And if you use Facebook to get news, what you're getting is news from sources like the Wall Street Journal and the New York Times, places that have long histories of smart and rigorous journalism, alongside and in fact looking identical to news from places like endingthefed.com. And I think that if you are a busy person, and we all are, and if you're scrolling through stuff in your newsfeed in line one day, that you might not note or you might not recognize that one story that you see without reading is from the Times and one story you see without reading is from, again, ending the Fed. And it's easy to have that catch in the back of your mind as a way of formulating your opinions about things.
Thank you, Max. In discussing his fake news course, Emmons says that moving forward, the course will incorporate a new study out of MIT, published in Science magazine, called The Spread of True and False News. The study finds that lies spread faster than the truth. The group of authors analyzed 126,000 contested news stories posted to Twitter.
The Oscar winners give a press.
They found that fake news reaches more people than accurate stories, and a false story reaches 1,500 people 6 times quicker than a true story. The study calls for a redesign of the news ecosystem. We here at FNC agree, as long as we don't have to change what we're doing.
Stop it! Stop it!
For questions and comments on this story, please email Robert Emmons at ramenz@camden.rutgers.edu. This is Eli Pierce reporting from the Education Desk at FNC. Good night.